Everybody, every soul, everywhere we turn. Well, life is gonna change when inside we change and take that journey to the heart. You are my brother and you are my sister, and not a one of us can live apart. We are one in the spirit. We are one in this world. We are one in the spirit. Everybody, every soul, everywhere we turn. Involve yourself in, it's time to begin for the healing of this earth. Many small steps here, millions of feet now, can carry everybody to rebirth. Oh, we are one in the spirit. We are one in this world. We are one in the spirit. Everybody, every soul, everywhere we turn. Away, 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 high. Away, 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 high. Away, 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 high. Away, 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 high. So as you take yourself, give back to someone else. All the nations here belong. Tear down illusion, shore up with truth, till you and I, we sing a worldwide song. We are one in the spirit. We are one in this world. We are one in the spirit. Every woman, every man, every boy and girl. We are one in the spirit. We are one in this world. We are one in the spirit. Everybody, every soul, everywhere we turn. Away, 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 high. 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 Away, 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 high.
This one's for the undiscovered geniuses. Or is it genii I never knew, who write and paint and chisel in their bedrooms, known forever by the last name. Ooh, I know you're out there, I know you're in there. The common knowledge doesn't know the jewels below. You never had a hit song on the airwaves. You never broke out from the local scene. You didn't paste your walls with famous faces, and you prefer the window to the TV screen. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, but common knowledge doesn't know the jewels below. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, dancing with your hopes and fears instead of chasing zeros. Don't jump before the cameras. The wisest women hardly ever speak. And every time we send a perfect teacher, we miss them 'cause we overlook the meek. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, but common knowledge doesn't know the jewels below. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, harmonizing heart and hand, making stained glass from sand. So this one's for the folks who know they're precious, but no more precious than the garbage man. I kiss you on your cheek, not on a poster, 'cause genius wants a lover, not a fan. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, but common knowledge doesn't know the jewels below. I know you're out there, I know you're in there, harmonizing heart and hand, making mirrors from sand. I know you're out there, I know you're in there. Cover stories can't uncover the true lover.
I know it's behind that smile. I know you're tired. Spend your life trying to be everything to everyone. And I know that look in your eyes, 'cause I've seen it in the mirror 1,000 times. That's the face of a woman who doesn't understand how much she's loved. And then the TV tells me I should be like her, achieve like her, to earn the affection I so desperately need. But the people who love me best don't expect me to save the world, no. They regard me as a goddess and they always give me love for free. And they say, you are what you are, and that's all you'll ever need. Fierce like a warrior, and soft as a sunbeam. Everything you've ever been and everything you'll ever be is holy, 'cause you are a goddess, baby. It's hard enough to be just me, rule my world from a place of reverie, forgive myself unconditionally and learn from my mistakes. But then the movies tell me I should look like her and laugh like her. If I'm a quiet beauty, all will surely fall in love with me. But the people who love me best like the way I laugh in the don't care what I wear. They rather see me loud and proud than stay polite and pretty. And they say, you are what you are, that's all you'll ever need. Fierce like a warrior, and soft as a sunbeam. Everything you've ever been and everything you'll ever be is holy. You are a goddess, baby. You are. You are the sun and the moon. You are the earth and the sky. You are the one who answers the prayers when you're laying down late at night. You are the undefinable and the one who is desperate to define. You are the one you've been waiting for. You are the love of your life. You are what you are, and that's all you'll ever need. Strong love.
I'm coming out of this long night's journey into the day, and I'm not afraid anymore to look in the mirror, wipe all the tears off of my face, and sadness fades. I'm ready to be who I came here to be. I'm ready to be everything that I am, everything that I am. Too many years I spent putting square pegs in circular holes, and I didn't know myself. Why would I come here to live a life stuck in a mold and be bought and sold? I'm ready to be who I came here to be. I'm ready to be everything that I am, everything that I am. I am the 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 I am. I am There's no greater feeling than loving myself, body and soul.
where I am. God is where I stand. God is standing strong where I breathe. God is breathing life in and out and through me. Ask me where I sing. God is where I dance. Joy lives at my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me. As me, for where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I seek, God is the answer. Here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak, truth is. Where I work, love is my career. And where I play, God is playing boldly, in and out and through me. As me, oh, oh, do-do-do. Oh, hey, yeah. Where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move and feel, where I sing, where I dance, my dance, my dance, wherever I go, where I pray and take and give and leave. God is, life is, joy is, oh, God is.
Faith Rivera, wherever I am, God is. Beautiful.
A time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know that the grace of God was sufficient, and I didn't know the love of God was at hand.
Well, good morning, and welcome back to our live stream service. And I'm going to move this out of the way here. So I know most of you got the message yesterday that we're going to continue to do this service this week like this, and next Sunday like this, and then the following Sunday on the 21st will be just a skeleton crew in the center. That'll be me and some musicians, no choir, practitioners, leadership, AV, those of the on the AV team who can be there. Nobody's required to come. It's just about, safety and comfort. If you're in the high risk group, you probably shouldn't come right away. The first service, well, first of all, nobody is invited except for the leadership team and the AV team, the production team, for the 21st and the 28th. Let us get our act together and make sure that we understand how to do it with the social distancing, the chairs where we need them to be, and all of that stuff. And then the 28th, same thing, just to concretize it for ourselves. On the 5th, July the 5th will be open to anybody who is within that group of non-high risk who feels comfortable being there. Of course, we will be requiring masks. Now, I realize that masks may very well be optional in some places in the high desert, but they will not be optional at the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Masks will be required. You will be required to bring your own mask. We're not providing masks for anybody. And we will be practicing social distancing, elbow hugging. But we'll be together for those of us who can be. So today we have Dave and Mandy joining us. I know that they're standing by here. Let me just say hi to them. So today we have Dave and Mandy standing by to do music for us twice. And also Lori is standing by to be our practitioner. And also Dave and Mandy will be our first live performers on the first Sunday of July as well. So we're really looking forward to that. And without getting too much into... Clay says, "Oh my goodness, I'm so excited," with a zillion emojis of excitement and love. Clay Baylor. So you keep being our cheerleader, Clay. So I'm really happy to see that you're excited. Without spending too much time on the coronavirus or on the protests against police brutality and institutionalized racism, I want to continue for us to adopt the Ho'oponopono prayer. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And we're going to do that in a minute. We're going to do a meditation on the Ho'oponopono prayer, the Hawaiian Ho'oponopono prayer. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I am calling for all of us people of non-color, all of us white people, to do what we can, both to stand up to dismantle institutionalized racism in every way that we can. I put a thing on Facebook this week, 75 things that white people can do. So white people do something. People of color know that I love you. I can't speak for anybody else, but we're doing what we can do right now. I'm doing what I can do right now. The only prayer that seems, I'm going to do an opening treatment here, but the only prayer that seems appropriate is the Ho'oponopono prayer. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. That's like the only thing I know that I can say that rings really, really true. But in terms of our service and blessing our service, let's go ahead. I invite everybody to just take a breath. I'm going to play some Donna Michael music this morning. There it is. Some beautiful Donna Michael. As I invite us all to simply breathe into our community, breathe into our togetherness, breathe into our love for each other, breathe into our long history as religious scientists of being completely open and affirming community, regardless of skin color, ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender identification. Let's breathe into our love and acceptance of ourselves as members of that loving community. As we bless our day and bless our time together, what I know is that there is only love. There is only love. That word, which Emerson says is our highest word, it's our synonym for God. I know that there is only love. There is only one life, and that life is God. That life is love, and that life is my life now and the life of each of us, members of this loving spiritual community. And I know and understand that each of us individualizes this perfect life. And that does not always mean that what we see in the world seems perfect to us, but there is a perfection behind that we represent and individualize. And we, of course, have the power to change what we see in front of us by changing what we think and what we see with. So today I simply bless our community. I bless our time together. I bless this virtual service as we prepare to once again be in physical proximity to each other as a loving, open, accepting family. I also bless our law enforcement officers all across our nation and know that they are right now standing up for love and kindness and what is right in terms of protecting us without abusing us. And I know that for each and every one of us, white, black, Latino, gay, straight, transgender, cis, I know that each of us has the right and the responsibility to stand up for what is right as we speak, as we protest, as we call our representatives to stand up for a world that works for everyone. And knowing that this is truly the birthright of each of us, I bless our day, I bless our community, I bless our family, and I release my word gratefully into the action of that loving law, that mechanically accurate law, always doing the bidding of our conscious alignment with our good, and know that this is our truth right now in this moment. And so knowing that all is well, I let it be, I let it go, I release my treatment, as together we affirm this blessing by saying, and so it is, and so it is. So, the Ho'oponopono prayer, which comes from the Hawaiian tradition, I'm going to say this, and I'd like you guys to all say this with me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And I'd like you all with me to take just 2 minutes to listen to Karen Drucker's rendition of her song that she wrote to this prayer as we take this moment together. Everybody take a breath.
I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, mahalo, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, mahalo, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me.
we're going to be incorporating that song and that prayer into our service from now on. I believe it's necessary for us to be able to say that and sing that to each other every Sunday. Let's get to our Dr. Holmes promises. Let's say these together. Let's think about what we're saying. I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I assure my soul. Brandy says, "Oh my goodness, Vincent is here doing this with us. So beautiful." Oh, I'm so glad. Let's remember who we are. I'll take this moment. We've got so much going on today, but let's remember who we are. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are. His pure spirit. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are. His pure spirit. We are life. We are life. We are light. We are love. We are joy. We are peace. We are wisdom and beautiful harmony. We are pure spirit. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are. His pure spirit. Yes. Yes, who we are. His pure spirit. Last time. Yes, who we are, His pure spirit. Let's go on to our opening affirmation. And that is, as I reminded you last week, we added this slide. I believe in the ultimate goal of life to be the complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. Let's start from the beginning. I believe in one power, one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe that spirit expresses through me and is the unity of all life. I believe that the kingdom of heaven is within and that we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it. I believe that all thought is creative and that how I choose to think creates my personal experience. I believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. And I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. I'm going to unmute Dave and Mandy. Can you hear me, Dave and Mandy?
Yes,
There
sir,
you guys.
we can.
There you guys are. Hey,
Hi.
good morning, Dave and Mandy. Hi, I see you. Thank you for joining us today. You know, it's funny. I know the first song you're doing this morning is "Love the One You're With" by Stephen Stills, and I was just watching this documentary on Epix this week about Laurel Canyon in the '60s. Have you seen that?
We've seen it.
Oh,
We
it's
haven't
so.
seen that. We saw Echo in the Canyon.
Oh,
but
that
we
one.
wanna see
Well, this is a new one called Laurel Canyon that's on Epix, and it was really all about how everybody moved into Laurel Canyon, and it was such a creative space during that time. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for joining us today, and take it away.
Thanks for having us. We're looking forward to seeing everybody on in July 5th. When you're down and confused and you don't remember who you
talking to. Concentration slip away, because your baby so far away. And there's a road in the face you've got, and the eagle flies with the dove. And if you can't be with the one you love, buddy, love the one you're with. Don't be angry, don't be sad, don't sit quiet, hold good times. There's a girl right next to you, and she's just waiting for something to do. And there's a rose in the fisted cloud, and the eagle flies with the dove. And if you can't be with the one you love, buddy, love the one you win. 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 Turn your heartache into joy. She's a girl, you're a boy. They'll get together, make it nice. You won't need any more advice. And there's a road that leads me round, and the eagle flies to go. And if you can't be the one you love, buddy, love the one you win. Love the one you win. Love the one you win. Love the one you win.
Thank you, guys. I have to say, for a couple of seconds there during your singing, Lori was singing along a little bit delayed. And unfortunately, with the system that we've got, I can't mute her on Skype and not mute you guys on Skype. So I got a couple of texts from people saying, we can hear Lori singing in the background. And I know, unfortunately, I had to lean over and say, Lori, shush, which you guys probably heard too, right?
We love
You didn't hear it. Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you. We'll have you guys back in a minute.
Sing with the choir?
What?
Will we be able to sing with the choir?
No, we're not going to be able to have the choir for a while. Unfortunately, that it goes against the regulations of us getting back together. Unfortunately, we'll ease back into everything, but there's quite a bit of regulatory juggling that we have to do to be able to do this, but we want to be able to start being together and seeing each other. So we'll have you back in a couple of minutes. Hang on.
Thank you.
And now you have to be quiet because I have Lori open. So
We were going to sing along with Lori.
okay, good. There's Lori right there, the happy face of Lori. So Barb says, love you, Dave and Mandy. And Chris Wise says, love. And Clay is clapping. And so, Lori, welcome back. I know that Frank was going to be practitioner this morning, but Frank is hosting a party for biological microorganisms this morning. He woke up with a fever. So thank you for jumping in. And let's do the affirmation and flames of faith and the treatment. Oh, yeah, there they are playing during your time. So.
All right. So I'm going to say the affirmation and then you can repeat it after me the second and third time. I am a spiritual maverick, doing what is mine to do, manifesting a world that works for all. Let's do that together. I am a spiritual maverick doing what is mine to do, manifesting a world that works for all. One more time. I am a spiritual maverick doing what is mine to do, manifesting a world that works for all. And now we'll do the flames of faith. We perform this ceremony on Sundays to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle, honoring all forms of New Thought, the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome here. And as we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of Spirit's eternal love. And I invite you at this time to simply close your eyes and we move within if you are able to do so safely. Turning within where Spirit dwells, dwelling perfectly, loving, wholeness, harmony, in splendor and awe, being mindful of our breath. Breathing is life. Conscious breathing is our anchor. Allow yourself to be a mindful spiritual maverick, gathering ideas of life outside of the way of the group or herd mentality, nurturing this inner maverick, not being defined by the world, simply knowing that you are okay and that all is well, and that love is life, love is God, love is joy. You are love, and you are loved. So let us just simply give thanks. We are so grateful and thankful for this service today and for Reverend Doug and his message, knowing that it will guide, support, and lift us up to a new way of living, a new way of thinking, and a new way of being. Let us simply know and accept this truth and assure our souls that this is life itself. This breathing is life. And together we say, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Lori. It's funny. We didn't talk about any of this, but you hit on so many of the things that I want to talk about today. So thank you. That was really great. I'm going to move my camera down just a little bit.
Namaste.
That was great. Thank you. And
Thank you.
I'm going to go back now to Lori. You can hang up and watch the service. And I'm going to go back now to Dave and Mandy. There they are, back again. All right, you guys. So I love the song that you're doing now, and I based a whole chunk of my talk on it. So once again, Dave and Mandy.
Love is but a song to sing. Is the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, and you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, and we shall surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last, we get but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. Is there at your command? Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Right now, right now.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Perfect moment for what's going on all around us, don't you think?
Yes, for
Really,
sure.
really appreciate you. And I have a funny story. I know I shared this with you yesterday, Dave, but I have a funny story about this song for everybody because it is really the perfect song for this moment. And I'm gonna go to the lyrics. You guys can hang up and watch the service now. And thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.
I've been texting with Karen Mitchell, and she's going to do music for us next Sunday. So the lyrics of this song: if you hear the song we sing, you will understand. Listen. You hold the key to love and fear in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. Come on, people now. Smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Come on, people. Smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. You know, what's really interesting about this song is, of course, we're very familiar with the Jesse Colin Young and the Youngbloods version, which is the version that Dave and Mandy sang based off of. But what's really interesting about this song is it was recorded a bunch of times by different artists right around the same time, and I've never heard any of those other versions. But here's what's funny. Before the Youngbloods version became the well-known iconic call for peace and brotherhood that we're so familiar with in 1969, it was first recorded live at the Hungry Eye in San Francisco as a folk song by the Kingston Trio in 1964. Now, I'm going to go back to that lyric. Notice that the lyrics, the words and music were written by Chet Powers. It was not written, it was who wrote a bunch of power ballads during the 60s. But, okay, so first it was recorded by the Kingston Trio in a live set at the Hungry Eye in San Francisco as a folk song, a folk arrangement in 1964. At the same exact time, David Crosby also recorded it and released it in 1964 before he joined the Byrds. The next year, in 1965, it was recorded by the We Five as the A-side of a single that had Cast Your Fate to the Wind on the B-side. The next year, in 1966, the Jefferson Airplane also put it on their Jefferson Airplane Takes Off album, which was a great rock album. I never even knew that the Jefferson Airplane recorded any songs that they didn't write. And then finally, the next year in 1967, the Youngbloods recorded it, but it only became a minor hit. It only reached number 62 on the top 100 on Billboard, but it did get to 37 on the U.S. adult contemporary charts. Now here, what's funny about this is nothing happened with that song for 2 more years, and in 1969, it was used in a public service announcement by WNEW in New York as a call for brotherhood sponsored by the National Conference of Christians and Jews. And they said, pick a piece of music to go under as the bookend for this public service announcement by the National Conference of Christians and Jews. And the public service announcement became so popular that the Youngbloods finally re-released it, and it peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Top 100. So as a call for brotherhood and peace, the song finally found its right and true audience, making it the perfect song for us to sing right now this week as our country is going through so much turmoil. And I have to admit, I don't ever remember hearing any of the other recordings of this song, even though I was a big fan of the Kingston Trio, and I don't remember that live recording from the Hungry Eye, even though my parents had a lot of their records. And I don't remember any of the other version, but to me, the definitive version of that song always is going to be the Youngbloods version. Come on, people, now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. So we're talking about opening up in July, but I can't believe that it's June already and that we started this pandemic experience in the middle of March. So middle of March, April, May, June. I can't believe that it's June. And our global vision for June is, for the whole month of June, is going to be mindfulness. And I think it's perfect. Mindfulness is going to be perfect because we're going to have to be very mindful about how we do everything as we go through June to prepare for our July reopening. And we're going to have to be mindful of every aspect of our life from, got to turn off the ringer on my phone. That was saying Sunday Fellowship is coming up. So, and it is. Hope you guys got the Zoom link. But this month we are not going to be, Vincent says, don't try, just do it. Love each other. Thank you. Thank you. And Fred Wilbank said, oops, wrong emoji. I don't know what his emoji was that you used that was wrong. Charles Smith said, beautiful song. The music, the lyrics, and the performance are all great. Would love to have the choir do that one with them sometime. Okay. When the choir can be back together, there's an invitation for Dave and Mandy for us to all do that song together. And Brandy said, when my phone went off, it was God calling. And isn't it always? So for June, as we prepare, we have to be mindful. But of course, we're religious scientists, and we're the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living religious scientists. So our theme for the month is actually Mindfulness for Mavericks. Mindfulness for Mavericks. And of course, a maverick is a person who thinks and acts differently, freely, independently, and often thinks and acts very differently from the expected way or the usual way of thinking. So I think it fits us perfectly here at the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, because we are mavericks. And mavericks, mavericks are the way that they are, not to be disruptive, although there's a lot of disruption going on right now, but because we may have an idea for life that lies outside of the group mind idea for life. Sounds, just like being a religious scientist to me. And so our theme for this week is just breathe. Just breathe. Which is absolutely perfect for everything that's been going on around us. Just breathe. And we're going to talk about breathing all day today. Everything that's been going on in our global society this past week and for the past few months of the global pandemic. And Sharon pointed out to me at breakfast this morning that the protests against institutionalized racism and police brutality are also now stretching all over the world. They were in England this week, in France this week, in Italy this week, in Spain this week, Germany this week. Germany passed a sweeping anti-discrimination law this week, making it a crime punishable by fines and jail time in terms of discrimination against people of color, anti-Semitism especially, which is in the German consciousness all the time based on what happened in World War II, sexism, and gender identification. It was a sweeping law that Germany passed this week, so good on Germany. So for our first week, we're talking about breathing. Man, there's no better way for me to really center myself than breathing. Breathing is life. It's life sustaining itself with the ebb and flow of each inhalation and exhalation. Breathing is also a method or technique that helps us to process, to shift, and to evolve. And that's exactly right. Judy says, when you hear this song from your late teens through your early 20s, it can bring tears to your eyes. I know that song, Get Together, it was released under two different titles, Let's Get Together and Get Together. It's so, thank you, Judy. It's so impactful to me. I'm so glad that we used that song today. And as religious scientists, Dr. Holmes in the Science of Mind textbook teaches us to rise above group norms of thinking and to act and think independently and to mindfully rely upon what he called our permanent immersion in the thing itself. That's what Dr. Holmes, so many people came to religious scientists, as we've talked about, religious science, the science of mind, as refugees from a more conservative, less inclusive way of thinking, way of worshiping, way of celebrating life. I remember somebody once said to me somebody who grew up in LDS church said, what really hurt them is that their parent used to say to them, hate the sin, love the sinner. But, if we don't just love one another, come on, people now, if we don't just love one another, then we're not paying attention to what Dr. Holmes calls our permanent immersion in this thing called life, the thing itself. As I said before, Emerson said that love is the highest word that we have, the synonym for God. I love this picture of the child here, just basking in the love of the divine. And that's truly what our experience of permanent immersion in God really is. Part of our very core as metaphysicians is our freedom to think creatively and to question if the way that the group thinks and acts is the way that we want to think and act. What feels right to us. And in today's really fast-paced world of social media and influences and views and trends, I think it's becoming even more necessary for us to be mindful of what information we're allowing into our conscious thought and what ideas we will allow to touch us and shape us. And we have to do this consciously rather than to simply go along with the way that is prescribed for us by other people. We talk about being out of the box thinkers, and being spiritual maverick is really valuable for out of the box thinking, out of the box spirituality. We need to nurture and appreciate our inner maverick, which is not and cannot be defined by someone else or the world consciousness. But, that collective race mind that is always around us, there's so much fear, so much racism, so much sexism, nationalism. We need our maverick selves. We need our willingness, just by the very definition of those of us who have chosen to celebrate life in the science of mind as religious scientists. We've made a choice to put God first, and our expression and individualization of God first in our life. We need our maverick selves. It's part of the fabric of who we are. And Dr. Holmes teaches us in the science of mind that we each have something called volition, which he writes here as the power to act independently, the power of conscious choice. There's but one volitional factor in the universe, and this is spirit, or the self-knowing mind. The spirit cannot stop knowing. And I have to say, I firmly believe and base my ministry on the idea that this volition, this power for us to choose what we think and how we live, this is God's highest love for us. Yes, of course, our gift of life. We can't do anything without our gift of life and the metaphysical nature of the universe, in that we identify as, individualize ourselves as part of the larger mind of spirit, part of that creative, co-operational identity with spirit of how the universe runs. But God's gift to us, God's love for us, is this power of volition, and that means that we each have the power to choose what we think and what we will experience. And God itself is not judgy about what you want to think and what you want to experience. As we say, the law of cause and effect is mechanically accurate to what we think and what we believe, but also lovingly impersonal. If you choose to consciously or unconsciously live a life of poverty and illness, God does not say, no, you can't do that. God says, that's your choice. It's part of this volitional power to experience life on your terms. It's part of being a maverick. If you choose to live a life of love and abundance, that's your choice. And God will support you by the metaphysical nature of itself, receiving your thought, receiving your belief in the love that it gives you to think that and choose that and create that experience for you. We each have the power to choose what we think and what we will experience. I'm going to, Rick Espinoza says, late teens is over, 40 years later for me, yes. He says, the astronauts are mavericks. Man, aren't they? I'd be too nervous to go up into space right now. So, how do we, as New Thought thinkers, how do we, metaphysical mavericks, remain mindful? And of course, one of the answers that we always say is through our prayer and our meditation. Our choice is reinforced by a spiritual practice, a spiritual action where we keep reminding ourselves, of our relationship with God and the love that our life is, representing and individualizing. But another easy way for us to stay mindful and be mindful mavericks and to stay mindful is always available to us, and that is by breathing. By breathing and being aware of our breath and using, and not just in meditation, but by being aware as we're walking around on planet Earth of breathing.
Remember from time to notice that you're breathing. And this looks like something insignificant, but it is highly significant, because if you really notice that you're breathing, not like the mind does. The mind says, am I breathing? Yes, I'm breathing. Notice means bring your attention to it. Air moving in. Just one conscious in and out breath, and a different dimension is there in your life. Just one conscious in and out breath. Do that 20 times a day. 2 conscious in and out breaths, even better. 3. So your day, whenever you go to the bathroom, whenever you go in the elevator, rather than look at a person and say, should I say something or not? Oh. It's cold today, isn't it? Because you feel uncomfortable with not saying anything. Be comfortable with just being and breathe. And not look forward to the end of the in-breath. It's a mental habit. Always already wanting to be at the end. Be present, as they say in meditation practice, be present at every step of the breath. You're just there at every step. In-breath. There's no thought when you're present with your breath. No thought. Otherwise you can't be present. So it is extremely significant, because really, as I said, I haven't actually put it in these words before. When you are aware of your breath, what you're really aware of is you're aware of awareness. So that's the beauty of it. And what that means is you've entered the dimension of presence, and this is space has opened up in your life. Space. So in your daily life, use your breath. Even just one is fine, just one.
Yeah, I mean, bringing our awareness to our breathing while we're navigating through life and finding our way. It's almost a miracle in its mindfulness power. Judy says, when a person asks me, how do I learn to meditate? I tell them, do a breathing meditation. I know I'm going to play that little monkey mind breathing meditation video a little later in the service. And, all of this is true. And if we do find ourselves out of balance or agitated or worried, breathing calms us down and brings us back to our conscious awareness of our oneness with the divine. And we need to return to our conscious oneness with the divine. Thich Nhat Hanh wrote a great book called Stepping into Freedom. And in it he wrote, feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. Wow. Feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. But conscious breathing is my anchor. Because breathing is life, and life sustains itself with the ebb and flow of each breath that we take. Breathing is how we also, as Thich Nhat Hanh noticed, helps us process and shift and evolve. And it's such a powerful, when you're angry, stop and count, breathe and count to 10, right? Singers breathe in a certain way to not hurt their voice and to also sing beautifully. A pregnant mother is taught how to breathe in a specific way to aid in childbirth, and of course meditation, as Judy says, is very much about paying attention to the breath.
We can meditate everywhere, anytime. Even 3 seconds, 2 seconds, while you're walking, while you're having coffee and tea, while you're having meeting, so you can meditate. Many people has a little bit misunderstanding about meditation. They think meditation meaning think of nothing, concentrate. So push too much. So we cannot block thought and emotion. In fact, we need thought and emotion. So whether you listen to your monkey mind or not, there's an issue. What I call monkey mind, mine is chatting, pala 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 yada yada. So monkey mind is giving your opinion. So whether you listen to opinion or not, it's up to you, right? So through meditation, what we do is we have to make friends with the monkey mind. But how to make friends? Just giving banana doesn't work, So right method is you need to give job to monkey mind. How to give job monkey mind? So the simple meditation technique is be aware of the breath. So you ask monkey mind, hello, what's breath? So monkey mind says, yeah, good idea. And be aware of breath. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. There's a lot of thought comes at the background. Don't care, no problem. So as long as if you're not forget your breath, anything is okay. No need too much concentration. Just simply be aware of your breath. Breathe in, out, in. Even two breath, one breath. So therefore, we can meditate everywhere, anytime.
Yeah. So often the first answer to everything that happens to us is just breathe. In the midst of trauma, drama, interpersonal relationships, breathe. Just breathe. So powerful. So I have an assignment for all of us. And so for this week, I'm asking us all to just pay some attention to our breathing and try our best to be anchored in our highest and innermost self. That spark that burns at the center of our soul, or simply paying attention to our breathing will help us with all the stuff about the coronavirus pandemic, will help us with the national attitude, the unrest and the protestation and our feelings of anger. Last week I put up something, in fact, Dave and Mandy and I had a long conversation, and Karen Mitchell and I also had a long conversation about this. I put up a thing that's originally said, if Black Lives Matter, and if this is controversial to you in any way, please unfriend me. And I wrote that at the end of a very long day. I saw that Seth Rogen had put that up on Twitter, and I thought to myself, yeah, that's kind of how I feel right now at like 11 o'clock at night at the end of a long day of a lot of prayer requests and a lot of people calling me up so angry that members of their family and friends don't understand that the answer to Black Lives Matter is not all lives matter. Because and of course, all lives matter. But a great analogy that I heard is, yes, all lives matter. But when someone's house is on fire, you put that fire out first so that it doesn't spread to the other houses. It doesn't mean that the other houses are not important. The other houses are just as valuable as the house that's on fire. But when a house is on fire, you have to pay attention to that fire first. And right now, by saying Black Lives Matter, what we're saying is this issue of the way that black people have been treated in this country for 400 years, this system of institutionalized racism, is what we have to pay attention to right now. And, but a bunch of people called me up very angry about their friends and family who just don't get that. And so I was explaining, well, this is something that you can say to people. Yes, of course, all lives matter. But right now, we have to pay attention to what's going on in terms of this continuing presence of systemized and systematic and institutionalized racism. So for this week, I'm asking us all to pay attention by breathing, by centering ourselves and preparing ourselves for all of the interactions that we're having, whether it's about the pandemic and the global pandemic and the coronavirus, or whether it's about the interactions that we have with each other concerning how we're going to dismantle institutionalized racism. And the simple awareness of our breath can remind us of who we really are, spirit in form here on planet Earth. And remembering and realigning with our conscious knowing that we are part of spirit on earth, that's going to put us into direct consciousness with harmony and with our highest self. And I know we all know how to breathe, but perhaps we could do it even better. Here's a little 2-minute clip from Mianla explaining a spiritual breathing.
One of the ways that we can move through fear, known, unknown, hidden, acknowledged, is really know how to breathe. So many of us breathe backwards. We don't breathe fully. When we inhale, we suck ourselves up, and when we exhale, we relax. And true breathing is exactly the opposite. On the inhale, we should expand the diaphragm and allow the oxygen to fill our lungs. And on the exhale is when we deflate. So let's try that. Inhale and just expand the diaphragm. If you need some help, put your hand on your belly and gently push against it. That's your inhale. And on your exhale, let it deflate. On the inhale, through the nose, just expand the diaphragm. And on the exhale, just let it deflate. Don't work at it. Let the breath breathe you. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Work with gently expanding on your inhale and gently deflating on your exhale. Become familiar with your breath. See when you can notice your inhale and where it stops and your exhale and where it begins. And begin to differentiate the inhale from the exhale. Remember, breath is your connection to your source, to your creator. So the more consciously you breathe, the more consciously you'll be connected to your divine source and inspiration.
I'm excited to give you an update about our own YouTube.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any more about Oprah's YouTube channel. I'm on it way too much. So let the breath breathe you. Starting today, I'm asking each of us, let's do an experiment together. Let's breathe intentionally as a spiritual practice, not just when we're meditating, but as a new kind of default stage of engaging with our highest self and with each other. And when we breathe intentionally, we're engaging in the law of circulation, the law of reciprocity. We're grounding ourselves. We're aligning ourselves with our good. And we're aligning ourselves with the flow of life. You know, how many of you know people who have regrets about the way they breathe? Let's breathe and let's make it a spiritual practice. It engages us in the conscious practice of being aware. And remember, God breathes through us. God breathes through us because God in us, as us, is us. And God in you, as you, is you. So I have a backronym for us this week, and that is breathe. Being receptive to Spirit's endless abundance is my technique for healing everything. Being receptive to Spirit's endless abundance is my technique for healing everything. Yes. Breathe that in as we review our Sunday affirmation, which today is, I am a spiritual maverick doing what is mine to do, manifesting a world that works for all. Let's say that together. I am a spiritual maverick doing what is mine to do, manifesting a world that works for all. And of course, that is part of our 2020 vision, One Life in Focus. This week we'll focus on breathing a little more. And of course, Dr. Holmes teaches us that our life is defined as perfect God, perfect human, perfect being. Yes. So, all right. I'm going to take us out with our new thought benediction. Actually, I'm going to do prayer. I'm going to put on some Donna Michael. Here we go. There it is. Donna Michael's beautiful piano playing. Join me in knowing this truth. Let's breathe and know that there is one life, and that life is God. And that life is my life now and the life of each of us here at the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living. And that each of us individualizes the love, the life, the breath of the divine. And that we are a community based in love and kindness, equality, acceptance. I know that each of us, black and white, brown or Asian, gay, straight, transgender, cisgender, we are standing up for the dismantling of institutionalized racism against anyone for any of the above identifications. Where we come from in the world, how we love other people, who we marry, who we love. Each of us with the divine right to express the individualized magnificence of life as we each are. I call on each of us to stand up for this good right now. As I bless our community, as I bless the work that we do as metaphysicians and as religious scientists, I know that all is well. And in that knowing, I bless us. I release this word gratefully into that loving law. I let it be and I let it go, as together we affirm, and so it is. And so it is. Yes. I want to remind everybody that now, as we get back together, we have taken a financial hit, and as we get back together, I need to remind everybody to please keep contributing what you can to the center if we want to be able to continue forward. We're probably going to have to go with a reduced band for the first couple of months, either maybe just Chris on a Sunday playing piano, or just David on a Sunday playing piano, or a combination of Chris and David and or me, while we kind of make up some of the difference of how this coronavirus pandemic has affected our ability to pay our bills, and all is well. But if you want to know how to do it, Give Plus mobile app is one way. And of course, you can go to our website and scroll down the bottom of our website, or any of the places on our website where there's a donation button. You can use that donation button to give. Of course, you can just mail in a contribution to the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, 18575 Corwin Road, Apple Valley, California, 92307. Our parking lot is fully open now. You can drive to the center. You can walk to the center. You can put something in our mailbox. We're going to start having office hours again pretty soon. So, and of course, our website is high-desertcsl.org. We appreciate all of your love and support. And let's say our conscious giving statement together. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute in the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And of course, I try to always remind myself to say, I bless this gift in faith, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly whenever I do any kind of transaction. After service today, join us on Zoom. Our Zoom meeting ID is 838. Let me just double check this against what I sent out today, making sure that the right slide got up here. Let's see. High Desert. Yeah. No, this is not the right. This is not the right slide. Let me see if I have the right slide here. Hold on for 1 second. This is not the right slide. Let's go. Let me go and put this up. Hang on for a second. Let's see. June 7, ECAM. And let's see if this is the right slide. Let's put that slide up. Nope, still the wrong slide. Okay, so that's not right. The correct meeting ID for today is 832-1835-8581, and the password is breathe. And I know I sent that out to everybody. Oh, that is the right slide. Oh, good, there it is. The previous slide was wrong, but this slide is right. 1-835-8581, and the password is breathe. So that's, you also can phone in at 669-900-6833, but that is the correct info. 832-1835-8581. The password is breathe, and of course that is in the text that I sent out to everyone this morning. If you didn't get the text, take a screen grab of that or write those down. 832-1835-8581. Password is breathe. Good. All right. So, thank you. Karen Mitchell said, great analogy. Thank you. Let's take a moment. Let's sing All Is Well. Oops. I just knocked over my glasses cleaning stuff. Let's sing All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. Life is good, and so it is. I know that the infinite indwelling Spirit blesses us and protects us. I know that Spirit is kind and gracious through us. And I know that Spirit shines its light upon us and is our peace. And so it is. Amen. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. Life is good, and so it is. I want to thank Dave and Mandy for doing music today. Beautiful music, and I really look forward to seeing you guys back in person on July the 5th. I want to thank Lori for jumping in and being practitioner today when Frank was a bit under the weather. Thank all of you for joining us today on this second to last TV show style live stream from my home in front of the green screen. But we'll have one more service like this next Sunday, and then the following Sunday, the leadership and production crew, which includes musicians and musician and AV team, will broadcast from our sanctuary as we set it up and get ready for social distancing. And then we'll have one more of those practice sessions on the 28th, followed by an in-person and Zoom board meeting. And then on the 5th, we'll get together. We won't facilitate a Zoom meeting for fellowship on the 21st or the 28th, just because it would be too technologically difficult to go from in the sanctuary to Zooming like that right after. But we will be seeing each other in person, many of us, those who can attend, on the 5th of July. So we'll head out now with God Makes Me Want to Sing, and then those of you who choose to, I will see you on Zoom. Peace and blessings. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for joining us. I love you. Uh-oh. It says the video file cannot be found. Well, I'm gonna go and find that video file right now in our music videos. Here it is. God Makes Me Want to Sing. Actually, I'm gonna play Daniel Namad's last song today. Here we go.
If this is my last song, if this is my final day, if tomorrow I'll be gone, what do I want to say? If this is my last song, if it's my time to go, when my body's moved on, what will I have to show?
Oh, but fortune and fame, they scatter to the wind. The things that make a name just don't matter in the end. But is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. If these are my last words for all of the earth to hear, if all that I have ever been is about to disappear, if these are my last words, there's nothing that I need to say. I have only tried to serve. It's never been about talking anyway. So much hurt there is to heal, it's hard to understand. All I can hope to feel is that I am doing what I can.
Yeah, I'm here too.
Is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad